G'day guys, today we're going to have a look at implicit differentiation. Now first things first, implicit differentiation is not a new derivative rule. It is in fact the chain rule applied to a function which is defined implicitly. Explicit differentiation works when a relationship between our dependent and independent variables is explicitly defined. So this is how we've come to know differentiation and calculus up until this point. So sometimes you might hear that explicit differentiation is when the relationships between the inputs, or the x values, and the outputs, the y values, has already been untangled, or our y values is on one side of the equality, or our y value is on one side of the equality, with our input variables or our x variables on the other side of the equality. In other words, this equation is saying, give me an x value, and I will explicitly tell you a y value. So if x equals 2, I can directly calculate y. So in other words, there is a clear output structure. Give me an x, and the explicit function will provide for you a y. So in other words, not every relationship is given to us explicitly y in terms of x. For example, consider the relationship x squared plus y squared equals 100. Now, hopefully, if you've got up to this point in maths, we all understand this as the equation of a circle. However, this time, y is not isolated. The equation does not say we've got y is equal to some expression involving x. Instead, it says that if we square x and then we add it to the square of y, this sum must equal 100. So the equation describes a relationship between x and y. The two variables are tied together by a constraint. So what happens if x equals 6? Well, we would get 6 squared plus y squared is equal to 100. Well, y can equal negative 8, or y could equal positive 8. So this is important. A single x value can give us two possible y values. So the circle as a whole is not a function of x, but it doesn't mean we can't find gradients on it. At most points on a circle, we can still draw a tangent line. So the question then becomes, well, what is the gradient of the curve at a particular point? Now, if you're savvy with geometry, you might already know that this tangent line is perpendicular to the radius touching it at that point. But let's say you don't already know that, or maybe you just want a technique that generalizes to curves other than just circles. So we're going to start with one key idea, that y is implicitly defined as a function of x. And rather than solving the equation for y, we're going to differentiate the relationship itself. The key thought, I guess, is that even though y has not itself been isolated, as we move along the curve, or along the circle in this case, y will still change when x changes. So we can think of y really as being a function of x. So what we can do is really think of y as a function of x. Now, this notation is not multiplication. It's a reminder to ourselves that y is some probably unknown function of x. So I can hear you all thinking, well, where's the chain rule in all of this? Well, if we go back to basics and give ourselves a simple function, y equals x squared, I can take the derivative of this with respect to x and get 2x using the power rule. Now, this is because x is the variable I'm differentiating with respect to. But if I differentiate y squared with respect to x, I'm not just differentiating a single or a simple x term. I am in fact differentiating a composite function where I've got y in terms of x, which has now been all squared. So if I want to take the derivative of this, I first of all do the power rule on my outside function. So I'm going to have 2 times y in terms of x multiplied by whatever the derivative is of y with respect to x. Now, what we can take from this is whenever we differentiate a y term with respect to x, we will need to multiply it by this dy dx term to account for the fact that the variable y itself depends on x. So for example, if we're going to take the derivative of this particular relationship here, what we're first going to do is to differentiate both sides with respect to x. Now from here on the left-hand side, because I'm taking the sum of these two terms, I can differentiate them individually. Great, now I can differentiate term by term. So the derivative with respect to x of x squared is just 2x. And as we have found before, the derivative of y squared with respect to x is 2y times dy dx. And the derivative of a constant with respect to x is 0. So what I can do, take 2x to the other side, divide both sides by 2y. We can simplify that fraction. So the gradient of the circle is negative x over y. And this answer, yes, it does involve both x and y, and that is completely normal in implicit differentiation. So if we want to evaluate the gradient at that point, 6, 8, we'll take our derivative, which is negative x over y, and we will input that point and get negative 6 over 8, or negative 3 over 4. So let's go on to a more complex example. We've got this relationship x cubed plus y cubed is equal to 6xy. Now we want to find the derivative of y with respect to x. So we're going to use essentially the same steps as before. First, I'm going to differentiate both sides with respect to x. Now, because we have a sum on the left-hand side, I can take these derivatives individually. And on the right-hand side, this 6xy is going to be a derivative we're going to have to take at once, but we have the product of two variables, so we're going to have to use the product rule on the right-hand side, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. On the left-hand side, let's take the derivative of each of these two terms. So the derivative of x cubed with respect to x is 3x squared, plus the derivative of y cubed with respect to x is going to be 3y squared, times the derivative of y with respect to x. Now, we've got to use the product rule on 6xy. This is where it gets a bit more complicated. What we're going to do is, to start with, we're going to take the derivative of x with respect to itself. So the front is going to be the derivative of 6x times y plus the derivative with respect to x of y times by 6x. So there's our product rule. So let's go ahead and evaluate that. We have on the left-hand side 3x squared plus 3y squared times dy dx. Now that's equal to the derivative of 6x with respect to x is just 6. So multiplying that by y, we get 6y. Now the derivative of y with respect to x is simply dy dx, and then I'm going to multiply that by 6x. So the trick when evaluating these particular derivatives is I'm going to try and collect all of my terms involving dy dx on one side of the equality and all the rest of the terms on the other side of the equality, and you'll see why in a moment. So I'm going to collect my dy dx terms on the left-hand side. So I'm going to have 3y squared times dy dx minus 6x times dy dx is equal to 6y minus 3x squared. So from there, I'm going to factorize the dy dx out of the left-hand side because you can see it's a common factor. And I get that outside of 3y squared minus 6x is equal to 6y minus 3x squared. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3y squared takes 6x, and I'm left with dy dx is equal to 6y minus 3x squared over 3y squared minus 6x. Now this can obviously be simplified a little bit by dividing the entire fraction by 3. By there is my derivative.